Hey everyone, looks like you're in the right place. Welcome to Right Here, Right Now. Today, I'm with my guest, Sam, here, who is a graduate level tutor here at the SJSU Writing Center. And today, we'll be talking about your legacy as a tutor, as well as your journey through being at SJSU. So, welcome, Sam.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. Ever since I found out about the podcast, I wanted to be here. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I guess we could get started. This podcast episode will be focused on kind of Sam's experience being at SJSU, as well as the goals that he's reached / accomplished, and kind of just getting into the perspective and experience of someone who's not only a tutor, but also a student as well. So basically, I guess, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I mean, a little tired, but that's because I stay up late, and I shouldn't, but I do. I think a lot of us do that, though, so...
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
I only got 6 hours of sleep. I should have got way more, but...
Me too. I get it. And then I had my cat waking me up and...
Oh, yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Even though they're so cute, but...
He just really wanted to cuddle this morning and was very upset that I had to get out of bed. So,
what's your cat's name?
Keegan. He's named after a basketball player.
Of course.
Always.
As you guys may hear out throughout this podcast, Sam is a huge Sacramento Kings fan.
I am, and I know they're terrible, but they're my terrible team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But he's named after Keegan Murray of the Kings. Instead of Keegan Murray, he's Keegan Purry. So,
Nice.
It's my boy.
Well, I guess we could get into... tell me a little bit about, your job here at the Writing Center, kind of what you do, kind of go in depth about that.
So I am a tutor. So basically what I do is I tutor different people from around SJSU. Everybody is a different major, different discipline, different whatever. And everybody has a different type of assignment that we'll work on throughout the session. You know, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of really new people, really interesting people, and you get to work on all different types of writing, which is a lot of fun. You actually learn a lot about writing when you're just working here, too. Mm-hmm. You really discover more about the process, and especially the editing process. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of what I do.
Awesome.
It's fun.
I'd say, even me being here, I'm the, video production student coordinator, mm-hmm. and I feel like I don't see myself as the best writer, but I feel like I've learned a lot just from being here, even though I'm not a tutor myself.
Hey, come to the Writing Center if you need help on an assignment.
Exactly, yeah.
Because our employees are allowed to request each other to work on writing.
Yeah, I have done that before with Sam, and it helped me a lot with scripts and stuff. But yeah, and I'd say another thing is when you are here at the Writing Center, I feel like the community here is very uplifting and very everyone's very friendly.
Definitely.
And I think that's what makes me so happy to always work here and stuff, is that you could easily talk to someone here, and yeah, it's always a good time.
Yeah, I've made so many friends through the Writing Center. Ari was on last time, and Ari is now a lifelong friend, that sort of thing.
If you haven't watched that episode, make sure to check it out. Yeah,
watch it. It's great. And I've met a lot of lifelong friends, people who will be in my wedding one day, that sort of thing here. I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. I guess kind of additionally, how long have you been working for the Writing Center?
I have been here, I started in October or August of 2023.
Wow, okay.
So about 3 years, 3 academic years,
Right.
is what I would say.
Yeah.
But I've been working here since I started on my master's. I'm currently a master's student. I'm getting it in creative writing. My concentrations are fiction and screenwriting, of course. And I specialize in experimental writing, actually.
That's actually what I wanted to get into as well, because I feel like I don't hear a lot of people do experimental writing, or I guess if they do, it's not like one of the big things they get into. To be fair, I don't have a lot of writer friends, but I guess could you tell me a little bit about kind of what like experimental writing you do, or kind of how you got into it?
Honestly, I started getting into it in undergrad, but when I was in undergrad, it was very small. It wasn't a big amount of like experimentation. I had some like shifting in one short story from third person to second person to third person again. So that's an aspect of creative or experimental writing, is taking different tenses, different points of view, different whatever, and putting it into writing that you don't normally see in regular prose. So a lot of the time you can utilize run-on sentences. You can use kind of like Oscar Wilde does. You could do formatting. I have in that same short story, the dialogue during the second person point of view section does a stare aspect where one word starts at the corner and then it goes down each word.
Oh, I do remember you showing me that.
Yeah.
I find that kind of writing very interesting, especially, it's also very new, you know?
It is.
Whenever I'm reading a book, which I don't often read books, but whenever I do, and I see something that's kind of like unique, it really kind of gets me into the story more. I feel like I'm more sucked in because of the fact that it's like, oh, this is different. Like I'm invested at that point.
Yes, absolutely. It is a lot of fun to write experimentally because you get to try all these different things. And I really started doing it in my master's program. I write a lot of second person point of view. It's kind of like my thing. I also write a lot of horror experimental.
I love horror.
Yeah, me too. I've been, my thesis is in sci-fi. But now that I have officially submitted, yay,
oh my God.
Finally, it only took like a year, but now I'm getting back into writing more horror experimental than just sci-fi, which is primarily what the thesis is. So, yeah,
cool.
It's fun.
Tell me a little bit more about your thesis. How was the whole process with that?
Oh my goodness. It was a long process, but I had a great advisor, great readers, great everybody who helped me along the way. The thesis is is a prequel to the book series I plan on writing. So it is a short story collection. Basically, the book series takes place in our solar system. Each planet has a specific species to it. Some planets have more than one species on it, but other ones, specifically the outer planets that are more moon civilizations, those ones are less diverse in their species. But each story or each planet gets at least 2 short stories each. The planets that are most relevant to the book series, which are Venus, Earth, and Pluto, got 4 short stories though. So they got a lot more not necessarily work on them, because I feel like everything got an equal amount of work.
Right.
But they were kind of the most significant stories within the thesis, if that makes sense. So it's titled A Comprehensive Guide to Exploring Our Solar System, loosely based off of Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay.
That type of titling experience. Another part of experimental writing can be titles. So I do a lot of really long titles. Like some titles are 2 lines long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So in the thesis, specifically the prequel stories have the long titles mostly. But it's fun.
Yeah. That sounds like really fun, especially since you're, I mean, not only able to, like, I assume you also, were you experimental with your thesis as well in any way? Yeah, okay.
Very much so. Pretty much every story except for those prequel ones, well, even technically that one of them is experimental. So most of the prequel stories aren't as experimental, but the other ones definitely are. I utilize experimental writing in pretty much every single one of them, except the Mars ones don't actually have a lot of experimentation to them.
Okay.
But that's because it's so similar to Earth that I kind of match the energy. Nice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit about my thesis.
Sweet. I actually did not know about that. So I was like, that's awesome. I absolutely love sci-fi stories.
Yeah.
I think one of the book series that I really got into at least when I was a kid was the Maze Runner series.
Oh, classic.
Just because I originally watched the first like couple movies, and I was like, I want to. Or no, I think I watched the 3 movies that they had, which was the original Maze Runner, then the Scorch Trials, and then the Fever Code.
Yeah.
And I was really interested into like the spook or like the thriller sci-fi aspect of them.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Definitely. And then they never came out with another one, even though they have more books.
Yeah.
So then I tried getting into the Fever Code and things like that. So
cool.
I was, what's it called? I was invested at that point. But,
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I actually haven't read Maze Runner.
Really?
But should I try it out?
I think you should. I think I think it would help with some of the things you write.
Okay, I love it.
Especially since, like, it has that combination of, like, oh my god, what's, like, gonna happen next?
Yeah,
and, like, also, like, oh, this is actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any books that you would recommend for me to read?
Ooh,
Or
okay.
the audience in general?
Okay. The best book that has ever been written is obviously Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read that, trust me, it is one of the greatest. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, always a classic. It's very philosophical, though. If you want more sci-fi, believe it or not, I actually don't read a lot of sci-fi, but Emperor Mollusk versus the Sinister Brain by Ailey Martinez, great novel. Superhero story, kind of similar to mine in a way, kind of solar system based. We're probably some of the few writers that do solar system based, like are solar system based. A lot of writers do other stretch out.
Galaxy far away.
Yeah, it's easier for the most part, and you do get a bit of more creative freedom.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the solar system, you have to, like, if you want it to be somewhat accurate, you have to follow a certain format of, like, okay, a moon is like this, so how can I make a species off of that? Which you don't really have to do in non-solar system ones. So, Emperor Mollusk, definitely. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams is an absolute sci-fi classic. Even the movie is great, which I don't say about adaptations a lot. Although Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein was incredible. So if you want a Frankenstein movie, that's the one to do.
That's on my list. I'm gonna watch it.
It's so good.
I love seeing adaptations of books and stuff. Because as long as they do a good job, because usually I feel like a lot of books are usually the strongest source material. I mean, to be fair, that's probably where these movies came from. Yeah. Like if I'm thinking of Frankenstein, Dune. What are other? Oh my god, I'm blanking out. What are other films that recently came out that did a great job from that adapted from books? I can't think of it.
It's okay.
Yeah, but anyways, cool. So, what would you say makes creative writing fun for you?
Creative writing is fun solely because of the creative part, right? Mm-hmm. You're able to craft a world that you're able to look at from a different perspective. Even nonfiction is so much fun because you can be creative. You can do whatever you want. I always say, when you know the rules of grammar, you can properly break them. So with all creative writing, you're able to do these things that you wouldn't normally be able to do in other media, especially because it's kind of like with animation. You can do stuff that you can't capture in live action movies or screenplays or something like that. Not that screenplays can't be experimental. If you haven't read Oppenheimer, really good screenplay, and it takes place in first-person point of view. Which is really
interesting.
So in the description, instead of saying Oppenheimer says, it says I said, or say, because obviously it needs to be in present tense for screenplay. Mm-hmm. But I guess the creative aspect is the most fun for me. Mm-hmm. I love to world build, and something like that is really easy to do in creative writing. My whole thesis is basically world building. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And I also have this whole thing of everybody can be creative in their own way. A scientist can't come up with a new great idea without being creative in some way, having some creative thinking of how the world would work. Einstein's probably one of the best creatives of our time.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
So it's kind of like, I feel like the creative aspect is what makes creative writing the best it can be. Does that make sense?
Totally. No, that was a great explanation.
Okay, cool.
And I guess, kind of going a little off topic, you are an English professor.
I am.
How about you tell me about kind of how you got to becoming an English professor, what your motivation was towards that, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I am a teaching associate, which is a program that we have in the Masters of Creative Writing program. You're basically able to teach English 1A. You have to take a specific class that trains you to teach, and you have to apply and get accepted, obviously. But it's a lot of fun. I love teaching. I teach English 1A, like I said, which is basically 17 to 19-year-olds.
Okay.
And I didn't expect to like teaching that age range as much as I do. Because I've always been like aversion to any high school, anything below collegiate level. But now that I'm teaching like these 17, 18-year-olds, I'm like, maybe I could. But we still want to be a professor. But being a professor is a lot of fun, I would say. And the process was stressful.
Right.
Of course, like any job.
Mm-hmm.
Getting any job is stressful. The interview process, the whatever, it's always stressful.
Of course.
And this job's no different. But the actual process of teaching, doing activities, doing all of these things with the students, forming a connection with the students is a lot of fun for me. I'll spend time after class just talking to some of my students because it's fun. It's fun to chat with them and to find that student-teacher relationship.
Right.
You know, there's a difference between a teacher-student relationship and a student-teacher relationship. I try to make my class student first. All my activities and my assignments are crafted so that the students can try to have fun with it. I mean, if you're taking English 1A, a lot of them don't really want to be there because it's a GE.
Right.
So a lot of them are there because they have to take it.
Yeah.
But I try to make, especially our major assignments, fun for them. Because, like, for example, our argumentative essay, which they're working on right now, so exciting.
Right.
Always. They basically get to pick their topic. That they get to argue for or against.
Awesome.
So I give them like 5 things that they can go into, and they have to find a niche within that. For example, sports is one of the topics. I've had students do AI in the NBA.
Oh, interesting.
So I have, I never do political topics.
Yeah. It could get a little too
It can
much.
get dicey,
Yeah.
and you know, it's hard to read and grade when it's against your morals or whatever. So it's kind of like difficult to do that without the student feeling like you gave them a bad grade because of their political opinion.
Right, yeah.
Especially, which I would never do.
Yeah, that's
because it's unfair to the student.
Of course.
All I say is to pass my class is show up, do the work, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just simply those things. And if you do those things, you're at least passing. You're at minimum passing. I try to make sure that all my students can pass and move on in their college career. So it's a pretty easy, pretty simple class. I try to make it that way. It's designed for students rather than teachers and academics,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Very student forward.
Yeah. And kind of going back to, like, you know, kind of building a community with your students and getting, like, making it like a comfortable space where students can like talk to you and feel comfortable talking to you and stuff. I definitely feel that's helped me the most throughout like classes that I've taken. Like for one of the GEs, I had to take like a philosophy class, and the professor that I had, I was like, I noticed he was like young, and he was only like 26 or something, and that caught me off guard because usually my professors tend to be much older, like not much older, but like, you know, pretty much like older than me enough to the point where it's like it's harder to have that relationship.
Yeah, there's a separation.
Right. But when I'm talking to a professor that's like closer to my age, I definitely I can build a stronger relationship with them, and I feel like more comfortable being able to like talk to them or be honest with them if I'm having trouble. And I think that's also really important. I would say that probably helps your case, especially with your students.
It does. Being a young teacher is really beneficial to students, I find. I mean, it's so funny. We're all in Gen Z. Everyone in the classroom and myself, we're all Gen Z. We all scroll on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter. We all do the same things in our free time, you know?
Of course, yeah.
We're all... So it's really easy to get along with them because we have similar humor.
Yeah.
We have similar activities. We have similarities in what we like. And what we dislike, because, you know, every generation has their own what they like, what they dislike type of thing. So we have a lot of similarities, which makes it a lot easier to teach a younger audience, I guess.
Right. Cool. I saw this on your bio on WC Online, where you can book an appointment for the Writing Center.
Please do.
I saw that you became fluent in Latin.
I'm not fluent yet.
Okay. Oh, that's your goal, right?
That's my goal.
So, but what? Let me tell me about that journey at least, because I'm really interested. Actually.
So, I actually started it a long time ago. like in 2022. The problem is that I got very busy.
Fair.
So, the a master's program is always very intensive. So if you want to be a master's student, do keep that in mind. But it's so much fun at the same time. But when you have that going on and then you have daily life stuff going on, it just kind of doesn't happen. But I'm actually planning on starting back in on it this summer because I'll be graduated. I'll have the time to. I'm looking for jobs right now because all my jobs are student jobs. But now that summer's coming up and I have the free time, probably going to get back into it. Although I'm looking at doing comparative literature for a PhD.
Ooh.
I know. So I might have to switch the language that I'm learning. Just out of convenience.
Yeah.
I want to focus on the ancient Near East. So I'd probably want to do something more like Assyrian or Sumerian.
That's really cool.
Which is fun. It's a lot of fun.
I bet it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a lot more work than Latin and any living language that we have today.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's a little stressful to find that sort of thing, but because I'm focusing on that, Latin may be put to the wayside again, which sucks because ever since I was a kid, I wanted to learn Latin. Ever since I was a young child.
Was there any reason that you wanted to learn Latin? Like any specific like?
No, no, not at all.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. I mean, when the first book I wrote, there were a lot of Latin phrases and words and spells that were in Latin. I've always loved the language. So I would just like to still learn it, but there are a lot of things in the way that keep me from it, you know?
Yeah.
But hopefully one day when I'm more secure in a job and got my PhD, then I'll be able to kind of do it, I guess. Honestly, while I was reading my thesis, I haven't had a lot of time to read for fun, so I was literally like reading this like, man, I miss reading for fun. So you miss a lot of stuff when you're doing a master's program, and that just happened to be one.
Right.
But hopefully one day.
Yeah.
The goal is to eventually be fluent in Latin. Whether that happens today, tomorrow, years in the future, hopefully it'll happen someday.
You have that motivation, which I think is really important.
Yes, I do. It's a fun language, for sure. Difficult, but a lot of fun.
Of course,
yeah.
And I guess we get into a little bit of a fun topic. Out of all the screenplays that you've done, or at least all of like the things that you've written about, what would you want to turn into a film if you had the opportunity?
That is the easiest question you asked me. It is definitely my Frankenstein script. Del Toro messed me up because he released an accurate Frankenstein movie. Well, okay. Not fully accurate. There are some things I have issues with, but I'm not going to go into it. But basically, my first semester here, I took a screenwriting class, and I started developing a Frankenstein script that had the goal of following the book to a T. The dialogue is mostly exactly the same. Because Frankenstein's in the public domain, so I can do that.
Right.
So the language is in the similar voice. The way the storyline is a little bit off because you have to figure out how to include Justine in it, which if you've read Frankenstein, Justine is Frankenstein's younger brother's nanny. And she plays a pretty big role in it later on in the book. But the hard part is that you then, when you have a classic novel, they can throw in characters whenever they want. You can't really do that with a movie. So it's kind of a workaround of putting Justine earlier, but then I have to write in that same dialogue voice of lines that aren't in Frankenstein. So I have to kind of mimic the voice. But luckily I'm pretty good at mimicking dialogue.
That's good.
So that's been a lot of fun, is kind of writing in a voice that's not modern.
Right.
I love the challenge of it, basically.
No, yeah.
But Frankenstein is definitely one that I would want to release, if possible, one day. That would be a lot of fun, I think. But, of course, has to wait a few years.
Yeah, of course.
Because, I mean, Del Toro's adaptation was fantastic, but, you know.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
Just a little bit.
In the middle of our recording session related to the camera battery, so
yes.
That's not fun. Anyways, though, as we were saying, I guess I can mention, or I guess let me ask you, is there anything that you would want to, any tips or anything that you would like to say to students, before, you graduate, which I don't think I mentioned, but you are graduating this semester.
I am this May.
So, since Sam will be gone, I mean, we still have many lovely tutors here, but anything you want to say before you leave?
Well, just remember that you're creative, is what I'd say. No matter what discipline you're in, no matter where you are, creativity is king, and everybody does it in their own way. Just keep nurturing that, is what I would say. Nurture new ideas, nurture your own inner self. And when you do that, you can form a talent or a skill in anything you want. As long as you put forth the effort, you're good. Just, I would say, put forth effort, work on the grind. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, but as long as you focus on yourself and on what you truly love and what you can truly put forth effort on, that's what I would say you should take away from school, creative writing, your own life. Just find creativity in the little things every day. We're creative on social media. You guys edit your Instagram posts, right? Or you make an Instagram slide, a spread. That's creativity, guys. Come on. So just find your way to be the most creative you can be in your own discipline, of course. You don't have to go into creative writing, but even if you have the smallest inkling of liking writing, try creative writing classes. They're fun, I can guarantee. I've done a lot of them. They're a lot of fun. But I guess that is what I would leave off on.
Sweet, awesome. Well, it looks like we are right on time, so yes. Thank you for joining me, Sam.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that I got to do it.
And I'm so glad for you to be here before you graduate. I was like, yeah, I need to get you on here before.
I know, right?
But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.
See ya.
Yeah, so I think your paper right now looks pretty good. The organization looks great. You have little to no grammatical issues. So
hey, did you enjoy that podcast? Well, I hope you did, because we're recording another one right now. And if you want to keep up to date with our future podcast episodes or want to learn more about the Writing Center, you could check out our social media or go to our website at sjsu.edu/writing center.